It is October the 24th, 2021. I'm Andy. This is a Minorcan Mullet report from the Golden Ray Wreck site in the St.simons Sound. First of all, I got to apologize to you guys because this is going to be a lengthy report today. And here we go. They had Section 4 jacked up, ready for the dry dock today. And this is what we saw. And this looks as bad, if not worse, than what Section 5 did to us. I'm not a marine structural engineer, but I can tell you right now, this doesn't look good. So here we go, and looking at it and seeing the amount of damage that's done, and there's no flat on these decks. It's jagged, rough-looking material here that's left over from where the sides separated when they lifted Section 4, which means we know that there's a lot of material still down on the floor of the St.simons Sound. We're anxiously looking for the process to begin on the recovery of that material. That'll be a chapter for another day, so let's get on to what we're seeing today. Now, when we see the cradle, and we've got some video coming up on the cradle, first thing you're going to notice is that the cradle does not look as structurally sound as the last dry dock did when it came out. We're not going to see the center support system like we did on that dry dock when they came out to get Section 5. But again, from looking at this, it probably looks like something that you would want in place for that long bit of support that kind of runs down through the ship. So what we're thinking is possibly going to go on is may see some on-site fabrication take place once this dry dock actually gets in place where they want it underneath Section 4. That's just a speculation on our part, but we know these are some very resourceful crews that they have on, who are quick and have the ability to react to, from what we've seen, just about anything thrown at them, and that's what we think is going to happen. But here we can see the dry dock, and this is what it kind of looks like. We could see they had some side pieces made here for the cradle, almost look like spears sticking up, ready to go underneath that section. And then on the back side, it's like a box frame that's been put under, ready to maybe, what we're thinking, that's probably going to go up underneath what's left of the living quarters or crew quarters or whatever of Section 4, that part that would have been on top of the ship. Here, a little closer look at this cradle system. That looks like they've got everything set there and ready to go along the hull side. And we see the Crosby, and we saw the Kurt J. Crosby, we saw the Cheetah and the Crosby Star on the dry dock working in there. We haven't seen the Cheetah on this detail. The dry dock of moving the dry dock pieces out to the site, but she was there doing her thing. Crews on top of the dry dock, standing by, watching, ready to go, ready to help get this dry dock maneuvered up underneath Section 4. Crew of the Crosby Star here, kind of checking out the system as they're getting a look at this as they're getting ready to go in. And this is what they're looking at. This is the vantage point that they've got to see what they're looking at. This is what they're seeing. And it really does not look good, but we know these guys are ready for just about anything. It's going to be looks like it's going to be a tough piece to get loaded up. Here we kind of sped up the movement of the dry dock as the tugboats were getting it spun around and into position. And today, everything, they went in on the south gate, on the south end of the wreck site. That would have been on the Jekyll Island side of the wreck for you guys that have looked at a map and kind of understand where the site is and how everything kind of lays out. We look at the dry dock, you can see the that side, the box looking part of the cradle that they've constructed there with some cross pieces in it for additional strength. And all this getting ready to be slid underneath Section 4. And your eyes are not deceiving you. The FAA, when we checked, said, yep, it's okay to fly your drone. And for the life of us, we're trying to figure out why they would have a change of heart. We're glad they did, but maybe it has something to do with it. The project's just about over. Who knows? But yeah, we were able to put the drone up today, so we've got these images for you guys to enjoy. A lot of work. You see these tugboats. And what's really neat, we couldn't get the audio in here today for this section of it, but you can see how these the cheetah is already backing off, and I want you to watch the Star, how she stays with the tow right up almost to the last second, it seems like, before they turn loose and start backing out of here. Really tight maneuvering for the tug crews. And the Kurt J continues. Of course, they're in constant communication with the spotter and with the crews on the VB 10,000 as they slide the dry dock underneath Section 4. This is the last time we're going to see this, folks. This dry dock underneath the section for the last time. Hopefully everything goes well with the loading. And we expect that in a day or two, we will see the last section of the Golden Ray leave the St. Simons Sound. And now they're doing this right about high tide, so the tide is slowed down, and that gives the crews a little bit of an edge in that, you know, they don't have the water current to fight with as much. It's still moving out there a little bit, but just not as fast. And the wind, you can see the flags. The wind was blowing a little bit, but they managed to get it slid right up underneath there. Just kind of taking a look back at the site, back at what's left of the site and the environmental barrier. For you members of the Minorcan Navy that have recently joined us, that system of pilings and what looks to be piping running between the pilings, that's part of their environmental protection barrier, which was designed to keep pollutants, product coming off the ship contained. It failed miserably, as we saw so much oil onto the St. Simons beach, but nevertheless, a great deal of money was spent on that design. And here we can see just about all the way in place.
About 8 foot to go forward, Kurt J. 8 more foot. To get putting the brakes on you when I get to that 3 foot mark. Roger, will do. right, Kurt Jay, we got about 4 foot, man. You can go ahead and stop on the clutch in and out. I'll stop.
Hey, Alex, again.
Hey, go ahead.
Can we come another 3 feet? 3 feet ahead?
Yeah, we just put all the safety lines on, but roger that, we'll come closer.
Another 3 feet, please, because we have to work here on this corner where I'm standing. We have to work here, so it would be easier if... I guess we are fine. We are fine, Alex. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
We can do it. If it's a safety issue, let's go ahead and do it. I'd rather do it.
Okay, move another 4 feet. Thank you.
Jay, we need to go 3 more foot. You want to give me a knuckle in and out just a couple times?
Dodger, sure will.
Coming at you. Call it, Ziggy. Let us know whenever you like it.
Yep.
As you can hear there, a great deal of coordination necessary to make sure that that dry dock gets where it needs to be. Well, as all this was going on, the m.a.r.s. War Machine came into the St. Simons Sound, pulling a barge assisted by the Dorothy Moran. And this is the first time we have seen the m.a.r.s. War Machine. We're starting to see quite a bit of equipment in New Brunswick from the m.a.r.s. company. This is the Modern American Recycling Service Company out of Louisiana. Gibson, they've got a place in Mobile, they've got a place in Homa, got a place in Denmark. These guys are global, pretty big operation, and from what we've seen so far, these guys do a tremendous job. But this is their tug, the War Machine, coming in, pulling a barge, which we think this is either going to be used for moving material that is on site, or possibly what's going to be separated from Section 5, or it could be used for moving some of the equipment that has been staged here in the Port of Brunswick for a long time. All that equipment, the Connex boxes, the things necessary over the past 2 years to make this happen, all that equipment has got to find its way back to its base, and maybe that's what this barge is going to be used for. We shall see. But here the Dorothy Moran, and just a note here, the M for the Moran towing here that we see on the side of the tug on the stack, usually that's white. During the month of October, those are painted pink as part of the breast awareness, cancer awareness program that they have company-wide. And we salute them for that. That is certainly an eye catcher, and when you see a company that's making that kind of commitment, and we understand that's company-wide that they do that, that's very impressive. You guys making their way into the Port of Brunswick. I'm sure glad to be here. Pretty long trip from Louisiana, and I'm sure that they're glad to be in Brunswick. Welcome, War Machine. Well, this was we kind of caught this today as they were getting pretty good. This is on the west side of the bridge into port, and they began winching up the barge. I know we've had some questions about, hey, does that tow? Is it? It looks short. Would it be longer? Would it be more efficient? Well, this is how they move that. They winch that barge out, and then they winch it back in. They're getting ready to drop off here from the main tow line to get ready to dock this, and that's how they do it. It's hooked a big winch on the back. That looks like Captain Connor up on the barge. Say hello to him, and here's the rest of the crew of the Dorothy Moran. We caught some of the crew on the War Machine right here on their way in. Now, the other thing we saw today is around Bird Island, either they've got an extensive maintenance operation going on with the boom around Bird Island, or they're in the process of picking it up. I had a couple boats in here, and they were moving some stuff around, moving this boom around, and there were some gaps in it, and we think they may be picking this up now. We'll wait and see. We'll keep an eye on this and see if they actually are. Now, this is a picture we took over the past day, looking back at the Port of Brunswick the Thor, and it is on the side of Section 5, and the Pacific is right on the other side of the section. So those were the two cranes that you saw over the tree line into the Port of Brunswick. But they had the boom up, and it's been up for a day or two. We see these massive blocks off the tip. We got the drone up and kind of made a couple rounds around this and wanted to take some more. The Thor is going to play into this story quite heavily here, and we expect this operation to begin pretty soon. And we thought we'd get a little video before it gets busy and we could get close to the business end of this crane. We wanted to do that. one thing we did, we went online and we found some spec sheets from the company on the derrick barge Thor. We're going to throw them up here. I know this is going to be kind of quick, but they're available online. And to us, if our math is right, when we calculate the metric tonnage, it looks to us that this machine is capable of lifting 3.5 million pounds. Now, we may be off on the math, but that's what our calculations came to. You guys check it and see if we're right here. 1,600 metric tons lifting capacity of this incredible piece of equipment. Hey, Minorcan Navy, Captain Andy. Wow, a lot going on today, and when we got to see Section 4 a little closer, you can, wow, really see a lot of damage on it. The cradle that's on the dry dock to receive Section 4 doesn't look as extensive as what we saw for 5, but the damage, to me, looks about the same on 4 as it did on 5, maybe more. Of course, we can't get in that close to take a look at it, but just from what we see, there's still a significant amount of damage to Section 4. So as all these pieces and parts start to come together right here at the end of this project, and we're seeing a lot of stuff being moved around, and it looks like a lot of other things are getting ready to happen, we think that we're getting ready to close out the project, and not so sure. We know that we still have a lot of vehicles still down in the water that got to be recovered, along with now 2 sections of ship that are down there. The dismantling of sections 5 and 4 over at the port with the Thor DB is going to be kind of exciting. And the whole decommissioning of this project as it begins to unfold looks like it'll be worth watching. So we're going to look forward to bringing that to you and kind of close out the story, but it looks like we still got more to go. So hey, Minorcan Navy, stay with us. It's not over with yet. Hey, we're going to ask you, if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. It's down along the bottom. It's the little box. Hit on that, or go to the next page and hit the subscribe button. Do that for us. If you see the thumbs up, hit it. We appreciate that. Send us the comments. Again, that's what keeps us going when we see the interest that we're generating to you guys. You're the reason we're doing it. But most of all, we want you guys to stay safe out there.